All right, so we have a new indicator that we have just released that is available with the First Light Beacon suite of indicators, the Hunters Club, etc. It is called First Flat, and what is it doing? It's meant for Heikin-Ashi. It is pointing out the first flat candle, either bearish or bullish, after a pullback. Okay. Now, the significance is it actually sends alerts. So you don't have to sit and stare at the screen for optimal entries, which is really amazing. When you use it in combination with the First Light Beacon, you are going to find setups that are out of this world. All right. Now, a flat candle implies zero wick on one side and indicates immediate and sustained pressure by buyers for flat bottom candles or sellers for flat top candles. Only the first qualifying candle after an opposite color push is signaled. Subsequent flat candles of the same type are not plotted until a new directional push takes place. This indicator does not provide explicit entry or exit signals. Rather, it highlights potential turning points that warrant closer attention, ideally combined with the First Light Beacon for ultimate confirmation. All right, so everybody knows that we use a lot of accounts. We multi-prop to the max. How do we keep all of them manageable? Well, we use NinjaTrader's account manager. This thing is badass. I'm telling you the truth. We use this to manage our accounts. You literally can input every account you have in a NinjaTrader, set profit thresholds, loss thresholds, end of day flattened thresholds, everything you can do per account. Everything is per account. It's not just a broad sweep of all of your stuff and doing the same thing. So if you have different consistency rules, different drawdowns, whatever, you can set it per account. The amazing thing is the protection of your profits. All right, so we have the minimum profit threshold and trailing drawdown. This thing works amazing. I use this every single day. Every day I am using this. Your minimum profit trigger, say if you want to use this option here, it's say $450. Here's just an example. You put in your threshold. When you reach $450 in profit, if you get into a bad trade or disconnect from the internet or something happens and you drop down to $100 in profit, it's going to close the trade and lock the account until you manually unlock it or you just call it done for the day. So it is going to make sure you don't go into the red once you're green. Trailing drawdown, say you're using an Apex account or you're using any account that has unrealized trailing drawdown, this is going to save you. This is going to save your account. Once you hit a minimum profit trigger, you can set a percentage or a dollar amount. It is going to trail your highest profit by whatever you put here. So for example, if you hit $400 and you want to make sure that you keep 25% of that $400, no matter what, it's going to trail it. But if you go to 450, it's going to keep 25% of 450. If you go to 1,000, it's going to keep 25% of 1,000. This right here is going to save accounts. All right, so let me give you an example of how this thing works. So right here, we locked in, you can put in a Tradeify account right here, right? And then we come over here and we click edit. So you'll pop up with this code. You come over here and you can put your profit and loss setting, right? Your profit threshold. So say I want my profit threshold to be $500 and I want my loss threshold to be $250, right? Include commissions. Yes. Unrealized mode. Yes. So that'll monitor unrealized, right? Now, if we have a minimum profit we want to hit. So say we hit $300 and we want our minimum profit to be $100. There it is right there. If we drop below $100, this thing is automatically going to close the trade in NinjaTrader and lock out your account. So this is just giving you basically saying, okay, you've met your threshold, you're done, right? Now you can come back and you can reset it and keep trying, but this is probably, you set these rules for a reason. You should probably just leave it. You're having a bad day and you're losing what you already gained. That's that's not ever a good day. Now you have your trailing drawdown. So say we put in $500, right? And we want to keep half of that. So once we hit $500, if we drop down to 250 in a trade or closed, it's realized or unrealized, it's going to close it. All right. Now, if say we move up to $1,000, it's going to trail it by 500. If we go to 1,500, it's going to trail it by 750, right? It's going to keep trailing the percentage of your highest profit. This thing is amazing. You need to use this tool if you are multi-propping. You need to use this tool if you're using unrealized accounts. It's like 30 something bucks a month to use this tool, and you can access all of it from your mobile phone. Use the code BH to get a discount when you are checking out. Okay, so let me show you these. This First Light Beacon zone is the weekly zone, right? It's using the weekly zone. So each one of these right here is a weekly candle converted and turned into a support and resistance zone with our proprietary formula. Then we have our end caps where unfulfilled orders are sitting and resting. Okay, and if you notice, price comes in and wicks and rejects. Price comes in and wicks and rejects. Price comes in and wicks and rejects. It also rejects the dynamic zone, the moving zone. If you are unfamiliar with the First Light Beacon, I will give you a demonstration of these zones real quick. And this moves in real time with the market. So the entry for this right here is I probably would have entered on this right here and went into a little bit of drawdown, but your entry is looks like that, right? And that's your stop loss. So it's predefined stop. Everything's there for you. The ultimate entry is the bounce off retest of the dynamic zone and then your momentum candle push up. Now we'll go back to the Heiken Ashi with the first flat enabled. If you look, when this breaks down into it and it starts coming back up, you get a signal on the first flat after the reversal. If you look at these candles, this one prints after it leaves, breaks out, comes down, and then now here's your retest, and this candle shoves up, right? So let's go and pretend that this is the one we're actually going to take. We're going to put our stop under the zone where the candle was, right? And we're going to target a high, or we're going to go to a fixed risk to reward, or however you want to do it. Here, we'll just go for a 3. Just make it simple, right? Now we're going to actually switch into regular candles so we can see what the drawdown was, if any. Barely any. Came down here and wicked again, and then it was gone, right? Here we go into our 2 minutes. This would be how you could get into longer term swings with Bitcoin, any type of Forex, whatever. I mean, you could, this is NASDAQ, so you could trade NASDAQ like this as well. But this would help you get into swing trades. This will help you get into any type of trade you really want to do. If you're wanting to scalp, you can come down and say like a 2 minute time frame, right? And we'll swap the First Light Beacon to a smaller zone. Say we'll go into our scalping mode or time base. Here's 45 minutes. Each one of these zones now are 45-minute candles turned into support and resistance, right? And here is a full-blown reversal. Comes down, breaks, comes back up, right? Hits this right here. And then we get a rejection, and then we finally get a flat candle. This was on Friday. This would be the ultimate scalp right here. So you could take this trade right there and ride it to the top, however many you're going to go. And let's see what that looks like on regular candles. Look at that right there. That is a beautiful scalp. 543 ticks, rode it to the high, and maximized our profits here. This new little indicator doesn't do a whole lot, but it's super simple. It is just showing you where the good entries are. Now, if you were scalping this, you could scalp the zones. You can come into a smaller time frame, right? If you're wanting to go for like just 20-point scalps, a lot of our members use 20-point scalps for stuff like that, right? You're waiting for the crossover. Boom. There's your momentum push. You're getting your candle. Even this one down here you could have taken, but this one right here was the really good entry. Here is anytime you're below the zone, we're getting these really good flat bottom entries right here. I would not take these. This is not a pullback. Like, you got to see it pull back. You use the beacon line to help you, right? And these crashes through right here. These are telling you that, hey, it's time to go. Do you have to take this signal? No, this is just the first flat bottom. If you get another flat bottom, another flat bottom, another flat bottom, hey, I'm saying maybe you might want to get into the trade. You have found momentum, and momentum is going to leave you. All right. If you want to get a hold of this indicator, our First Light Beacon indicator, all of our indicators and algos and strategies, just go to breakouthunter.com.